Hey, I don't know about you, but I love me a good rom-com. And thanks to Netflix, the genre is alive and well. Sierra Burgess Is a Loser is yet another instant classic that dropped just this past Friday. It's an of-the-moment modern-day love story infused with a passion for the 1980s, inspired by a play from the 1890s. And it is fantastic, largely in part because of its incredible cast, the star of which is our next guest. Now, folks, I'm sorry to say that at this point, Barb may never return. But honestly, thank God for that, because I want to see this person in as many different projects as possible. Star of Sierra Burgess Is a Loser, Sierra herself, the great Shannon Purser, is here. How about that, guys? Come on. It's Shannon. Come on. Come on. Ah, so much excitement in this room right now. We're going to bring her out in just a second. But first, I believe we have the trailer for this wonderful film, so let's go ahead and run that clip.
So you want to go to Stanford?
Yes, I almost got a perfect score on my SATs.
You're a good student. But Sierra, what's your set?
Excuse me?
Sierra Burgess is. Funny.
Kid Wonder?
True artist. Loser. Sierra Burgess is a loser. You are a magnificent beast. Do you ever feel sometimes like you're the one teenager who doesn't obsess over looks?
Oh, sorry, dude.
I wonder what life is like for rejects.
Move it, Frodo. Veronica. Frodo is from Lord of the Rings. You're thinking of Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
I meant looking at you makes me want to gouge my eyes out.
I met a guy. We texted. He definitely thinks that I'm someone else.
It's called catfishing, and I'm pretty sure it's illegal.
Oh my God.
Oh, like Veronica?
That's what I have to live up to? Of all the phone numbers in the world, he texted mine.
You need to tell him the truth.
They're my words. He's falling for me. Are you more than just a hot jock?
Oh, you think I'm hot?
No.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
Yeah. I know you've been failing all your classes. So I think we can help each other. But I do need a favor.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
No? Oh my God.
I'm gonna answer.
Hey.
Hey. So, how was your day?
You know what? The audio's not synced to the video like at all.
Maybe we should try again another time?
Yeah, sure.
I can't believe it actually worked. Do you think you could like me?
You are exactly my type.
Do you have any idea what it's like to be a teenage girl and to look like this?
You know, the hardest part is allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
You owe him the truth. He's not ready.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Wait, your voice.
She's not that bad. She's actually kind of cool.
Growing up's terrifying. I don't know what I am.
All right, let's do it up, guys. Make a ridiculous amount of noise. Shannon Purser's right here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shannon, thank you. First of all, congratulations, because this film is delightful.
Thank
all right,
you so much.
we're going to get into that, but thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. I know you're super busy. It means a lot that you come spend some time with us here at Build. Before we dive into this, the beauty of the show, we've got a couple of minutes. I always love asking, how are you? How's Shannon? Just how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, it's been a very busy week, but it's been really fun, and I'm so excited to talk about it and to meet people who have seen it and hear their thoughts. It's exciting.
It's a really exciting time, right? Like, so because it came out just recently, so like it's out in the wild. People are seeing it and responding to it. So many people are in love with it. They love you. They love this story. You were just, did I see you were on Kimmel, right?
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah.
What was that experience? How surreal was that experience? Like, you know, to be there, because you're the star. Look at you. You're on the poster.
I know. There's my face. No, yeah, it's wild. I've been dreaming about doing this since I was a little kid, and I just, remember watching talk shows and being like, wow, like imagine being, so popular that people want to talk to you, or, I don't know. I just never thought that I would get here. So I'm really grateful for all of this.
That's an awesome answer. How has the experience been of now that the film's out in the wild? You know, you put so much time and so much effort and so much heart into this project, and now, as people often say, it no longer really belongs to you; it belongs to the world. Seeing those responses, talking to fans, how's that process been for you? Has that been kind of the best part, almost like getting to connect?
Yeah, I mean, we made this movie over a year and a half ago, so it's really weird because you know, I feel like I've grown so much since then, and for it to finally be out, it kind of does feel like looking into like a snapshot of my past, you know, like what I was going through, what I was feeling at the time of making the movie. But it is exciting, you know. I think that there's a lot in this movie for people to learn from, for people to discuss, and you know, everybody views it through their own experience, through their own lens, and it is interesting to hear, you know, all the different perspectives. And I mean, a lot of people have been covering Sunflower, which is the song that I sing in the movie, which has been really touching as well. So yeah, I'm just really blown away by the support.
It's pretty amazing. This film, it's your first time. I mean, you know, on the poster, leading lady. It's the first time you sang on camera. There's so many firsts, and I want to get to all of them. But let's start with the first time in a leading role, and sort of being number one on the call sheet in a way, if you will. You know, when you were looking for things to do, how did you become Sierra? Did you audition? Did you find it? Did they find you? Take me back to the beginning of the journey.
Yeah, I got the script for the movie several months before they even started casting, so the story was kind of already in the back of my mind. And then when they did start casting, you know, I don't know. I think they were very hesitant about me auditioning because at that point in my career, I had only done Stranger Things, and I was like just wrapping on a horror movie that I did when I started auditioning. And so they did kind of take a chance on me. You know, they hadn't seen my work. They didn't really know what I could do. And I auditioned several times, I think like 3 or 4 times. And then I flew to LA to do a chemistry read with RJ, who plays Dan, Sierra's best friend. Yeah, he's incredible. And then I got the part, and I was just so overwhelmed, you know, because this is absolutely the stuff that I've dreamed about when I was young, and it's here.
Where in you said you had only done Stranger Things. Where in the process or like the timeline of the Barb phenomenon were you when you had auditioned? Were you afraid that would influence their perception of you as an actor or anything like that? Were you still riding the wave of I can't believe this is happening? Like, where was that when you started looking for other stuff when this was happening?
Yeah, no, I think I was very overwhelmed at the time because I think season 1 of Stranger Things came out in the summer of 2016, and then I got Sierra at like the very end of 2016. Wow. So I was still kind of like overwhelmed, you know, by the response to Barb for sure. And I was just worried that people, you know, who had only really seen me in that role would only think of me as that character. And, you know, I'm really thankful that the casting director really fought for me and wanted me in the role, and I got to sort of showcase what I can do, you know, which was really exciting.
Were you exciting for sure? Were you nervous at all going into it, especially with this incredible cast? So you did the chemistry with RJ, but you know you've got. I mean, I wrote down just how cause there's so many amazing names in this film. Chrissy Metz, Loretta Devine, your parents as well. There's so many people in this film. I imagine on one hand that adds to the nerves and pressure, but on the other, I can't imagine a more loving group of individuals to be around you.
No, everybody was so incredible, which I'm really thankful for. You know, like I like to think that I can do my job regardless of the work environment, but to have such a kind and you know, easy to work with group of people was so helpful. And yeah, some real icons in there. I remember finding out that, you know, Alan Ruck was going to be my dad, and like, yeah, it's so surreal. And I love like 80s movies, so it was so special.
Speaking of special and the relationships and just how much love there obviously is, you can see it not only on the screen, but as I was saying earlier, Noah was here a little earlier this summer, and I asked him about working with you, and I have a clip because it's so sweet, and I just want to play it really quick if we could take a look at his experience.
I mean, she's
wonderful.
Wonderful, ridiculously talented, and just an authentic human being. And she cares, and she embraces her insecurities, and she embraces all that who she is. You can see her on her Twitter, you see it on her Instagram, and to work with someone as open as she is just to know someone as open as that is a blessing in mine.
Isn't he? Yeah, we could applaud if you want to, by the way, because obviously I hadn't met you at that point, as I have now, but I had said to him, you get so much of that through your performance, and of course through social media you get that sense, but it's so awesome, you know, when the world falls in love with a character like Barb, and then like the actress behind that character lives up to all of your expectations.
I'm trying.
Yeah, no, but you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. You just got to be you, and everybody just kind of falls in love with who you are. He's so sweet. He said so many nice things. Tell me terrible things about him. Go. No, I'm kidding.
I can't think of any.
There's not a single thing, right? I had nothing but nice things to say about him. He was the nicest dude in the world. Talk about, so you had a chemistry test with RJ. Did you guys have one? And you and Noah, because what's interesting about your relationship is in the film is so much of it happens off screen, or on a screen, rather, right? So what was that like, building that with him and working on that and finding that rhythm together?
Yeah. No, it was really exciting. We didn't have a chemistry read together, you know, so I think the first day that we met was when we were doing like a screen test, which is basically, you know, when you see how your costumes look on camera and like what's hairstyle you want your character to have, and kind of watch all the characters interact on camera for the first time. And so I met him, and of course, you know, I'm like, who is this guy that I'm gonna have to like kiss on screen? Like, is he gonna be a decent person? And he was wonderful. And yeah, no, it was really exciting. And the movie itself, you know, it is a lot of it, you know, is this relationship progressing over texts and calls, but he was actually, you know, always on the other end, you know, like on the line.
Right, that's what he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
So
were actually communicating in those moments.
yeah, all those conversations, we were really talking to each other, which was incredible. Like, he could very easily have just gone home and somebody could have read me his lines, but he stayed, you know, and I tried to stay there for him as well, so that we could actually have those conversations.
It's pretty incredible, and again, you feel that in those moments, because there is like this intimacy. And another thing that plays into those scenes is the music. Well, I mean, not just those scenes, but this whole movie has incredible music.
So good, yeah.
It's so good. And the whole film is just like a love letter to John Hughes and those movies. We were saying your parents, you know, Leah and Alan, they're straight out of a John Hughes movie. And you said you were big fans of that. Did you go back and brush up on anything because that was so clearly going to be an influence and part of the vibe, or were you already your knowledge is pretty robust in that department?
Yeah, I definitely love like John Hughes and you know, all the classic romantic comedies, and you know, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and yeah, I don't know, it was so cool because even though I didn't really live through the 80s, I do kind of feel that connection to it, and I love all the little nods to it in the movie.
Well, and what the movie does so well too, not just nods, but like it takes all of those tropes and expectations and it subverts them, not in a cheesy way, but in a way that feels really natural and modern. And I imagine a lot of that was on the page, and a lot of that was what excited you to come into this film, right? And be a part of that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, I don't know, I love that we get to make like a rom-com that is, you know, smart and that talks about real issues and has depth to it, because like I think young people, teenagers deserve that, you know? Like, of course, it's great to have stuff that's sweet and lighthearted that you can laugh off, but I mean, you know, there's nuance in this film, and there is real opportunity for discussion, which I think is really interesting to me.
No, for sure. 100%. There's nuance, there's substance. But I will say, and we were talking about this in the back, and I imagine for you as well, after stuff like Riverdale and Stranger Things, it had to be really nice to do something with a little less murder in it. Just like something that was just a little nice and fun and lighthearted in a way, and having some substance and emotion. Was that another big thing? Were you actively seeking out a role in that world, in that scope when you were doing this?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it was nice, you know, to not get killed off. I always appreciate that, for sure. But yeah, no, it is fun to kind of have the opportunity to goof off and, you know, to be happy and to explore like different emotions, because I mean, I do love like drama and the dark stuff, you know, but I think it's great to, you know, to talk about love and to just be happy, you know, it's fun.
You know, I mentioned some of the other things you've done, Riverdale, Stranger Things, all of which you're in a high school setting. You're experiencing high school. Comparatively speaking, how was your actual high school experience versus some of these extraordinary circumstances you find yourself in now?
No, my high school experience was very different from all of the high school experiences that I've played, because I went to this like very tiny school, and it was sort of a homeschool thing, so I only went like a couple days a week. So I never really got to have like the high school experience. Like I didn't get a prom. There was no football team. There was no prom. I know, it's devastating.
No prom means no prom proposals. No promposals.
No promposals. Yeah, truly. It's really interesting that I've kind of gotten to have like these like iconic high school moments on a film set, you know, and not in real life.
That's pretty amazing. So what's funny too is that all of these scenarios, as extraordinary as they are, or as crazy and outlandish as they may be, for the sake of television and film, we all love them so much because we connect to them, and there is something that resonates and makes it feel real. But I'm surprised so you said it was very small. How large was your graduating class, if you remember, like ballpark number? How many kids were there?
About like 15 was like my graduating class. Yeah.
That's incredible. So this is all foreign for you. This is all a different world.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all that I really know has come from like the movies that I've grown up watching, and then like siblings went to public school and I didn't, and so I kind of learned through hearsay.
Gotcha. Older or younger siblings went to public school?
Everyone actually, except me.
What'd you do?
No, something horrible. No, it just kind of worked out that way at the time.
Interesting. The one thing, I didn't know how small it was, and I knew it was a different experience. And one of the other things that I read that I was fascinated by, and I hope you'll dig into with me, is that you said at one point you had an emo phase.
Oh, yes.
Let's bands, Hot Topic rewards cards. I want it all. I want to know manic panic, hair dye. I want to hear the whole story. Like,
well, yeah, the manic panic is very real.
It's a real deal, yeah.
I remember my mom wouldn't let me dye my hair, and I wanted to so badly. So I like got like black manic panic, like hair dye, and like thought that it would be cool to like just dye like my bangs, only my bangs black. And then of course it like faded to green and it was disgusting. And then, I had like the studded belt and the Converse, and I listened to like My Chemical Romance, and like it was, I don't know.
That
it
is
was
like
so weird.
Perfect emo. Like you're hitting all the notes.
No, I went all in. I had like fingerless gloves. It was a whole mess. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I absolutely love that. And that's always so exciting. It's one of those things, at the time, obviously, we all thought we were very cool, or at least this was our version of expressing ourselves and whatnot. But it is our version of that outlandish 80s style, or those 90s, like you see, like whatever. That emo time with the fingerless gloves and the hair dye and the pants from Hot Topic with the straps that connect but serve no purpose and endless zippers. All of that stuff. That's what we look back on and go, well, we thought we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of like bands that you were listening to and all that, and first times on this film, I'm gonna tie that all together. This is the first time you sing on camera. Yeah. My goodness, what a job! Talk to me about the lead up to that and how that happened.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying, initially, just because I feel like I'm a lot more self-conscious about my singing, than my acting. But yeah, that was in the script, and they were kind of like, when I was auditioning, they were like, it doesn't have to be a song. We could change it to a poem. Like, if you don't sing, you don't have to sing.
They gave you
yeah. And, I feel like part of me at the time could probably, like, wanted to be like, oh, yeah, let's just do a poem. Like, I don't want to sing. It gives me so much anxiety. But no, I was just like, I can sing. I grew up singing. I did, like, musical theater growing up. And I kind of just like made up a tune on the spot and sang them, the song as it was in the script, and they were like, okay, cool. And so that's kind of how it happened.
It's pretty amazing. I often find in my old age that if you're faced with a scenario like that, like the decision that feels easier, that you're leaning towards, like let's just do the poem, that's like 9 times out of 10 not the right way to go. It's like you got to push yourself into that uncomfortable space, especially as a creative person, especially as an artist. And I'm glad you did, because like you said, people are covering that song now. That song means so much to people. It's a great moment in the film. I'm getting the signal. We're going to take some audience questions in just a second. I'm very excited for that. They're very excited for that. But I gotta ask you just one more Barb thing. What was, and forgive me, but what was the most surreal part of that journey? Because you got to experience, few people ever will experience, even other famous people. It wasn't just fame. It was a phenomenon, where people went out, campaigns were started. Campaigns are still going to bring Barb back and justice for Barb. Going through that, what was the craziest moment for you? And then I'm curious if you learned anything throughout that whole experience. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was so overwhelming. I really didn't anticipate that anybody would remember or care about my character, and then everybody did, and the internet blew up. And like John Stamos from Full House was like retweeting GIFs of me, and I'm like, what's happening? Yeah, that was a big moment. But I think like one of the most surreal moments was like the very first day when we all had our table read, and like Winona Ryder walks in, who I've like loved my entire life, and was just like, she's right in front of me. This is real. This is happening. Yeah, I'm so overwhelmed when I think about it, because it's just the dream, you know, like it's what I've wanted for such a long time, and for it to happen was incredible, and to happen in that way. And I do feel like I've learned a lot and grown a lot, you know. I don't know if I can articulate it well, but yeah, I just no,
You're
it's
technically
overwhelming.
still living in it. It didn't happen that long ago, and it's still going on. So I don't expect you to have a whole lot of perspective on it just yet, as you're still in like kind of like the eye of the storm. Real quick though, Emo Phase, Winona Ryder fan. Beetlejuice must have been a big movie for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
good.
was very into that for sure. Just like, and everything like Tim Burton never did.
Totally.
And yeah.
Well, yeah, that was part and parcel with the pants from Hot Topic. Yeah, that came along. Awesome. Well, this movie's incredible, and if you haven't seen it yet, guys, you really should do yourselves a favor and give it a watch. You're wonderful in it.
Thank you.
And thank you again. Let's get to those questions. We got microphones in the room. The first microphone. Well, come on down. Here we go.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hi.
So obviously you're very well known for Stranger Things. That was your big breakout role, and you've been very open about your continued support for the show and the cast, even appearing in that Comic-Con panel. So I guess my question is, did you get a chance to visit the set for season 3?
No, I didn't get a chance. I have been kind of all over the place, you know, lately. But I'm very excited, you know, like even though I'm off the show, it's very much like a show that I love, and that is very interesting to me. So I am excited to watch season 3, just like everybody else.
Very cool. Thank you for that question. Where's our next one coming from? It's another mic. Come on down.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, since you've done so many musical projects, how did it feel to have a solo in the movie, and would you ever consider doing an EP?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I was very nervous about it. You know, I didn't know how it would turn out, and I'd never sung in a studio before. But I love music. You know, it's a big part of my life, and I am kind of interested in maybe like pursuing it. So that'd be fun.
Very cool. Thank you for that question. What do I got? One more? We're going to do one more, and it is from the young gentleman in the fantastic sweater.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love gorillas.
Oh, me too. Hi. Since you are associated with so many projects and you're a fan of many as well, would you ever consider doing a guest role in a various TV show or something?
Yeah. Definitely.
What's your dream show? Get a
Dream
guest role
show?
on. What?
Ooh.
Any show. Past or present?
Oh no.
Oh,
It's even
no,
worse.
that's
It's
harder.
like
Okay, fine.
So many choices.
Present only.
Okay, present show that I would like to do. I really love The Handmaid's Tale. It's very dark, but I think it's just an incredible opportunity to really like act well and to showcase your abilities. And then also like I like Black Mirror a lot too. I'm very into like sci-fi and technology and how it ruins our lives. It's very interesting to me. So yeah, that'd be fun.
100%. Those are really interesting. Two interesting picks. As you're looking for new things, is that sort of an internal like yardstick, like a litmus test of like, is this in that vein? Are you trying to do more dramatic stuff now that's more serious? Are you trying to do more? I mean, this was a year and a half ago, you said, right? So you've done stuff since then. You're looking for more things. What's like your guiding light right now?
Definitely. I don't know. I'm always kind of surprised by like what projects resonate with me, you know, that I'm interested in. And I think, you know, the common denominator is just like characters that are complex, that are, you know, challenging for me to play, you know, that have like a lot of layers. That I find that really interesting. I do kind of gravitate more towards like dark sort of drama stuff because I find that fun, and I can like cry at the drop of a hat. So it comes very easily to me. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm open to anything, I guess. The possibilities are unlimited, which is what I love about this job.
It's pretty awesome. Well, you're pretty good at this job, so you should stick to it. You should keep it going. Speaking of keeping it going, we should make a ridiculous amount of noise for Shannon and thank her for being here. Sierra Burgess Is a Loser is out now on Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for the great Shannon Purser, everybody. Please, Shannon, thank you.
Thank you.